Free commentary number 3, what are we up to? 61? Some shit like that? I don't even know. 360 motherfucker. I'll figure it out when I post this motherfucker. Anyway, Free commentary number 3, whatever. Jimbob1337 has sent in some Final Fantasy 15, and I know this is DLC because he was asking me can he send in some DLC, and clearly I know what the fuck Final Fantasy looks like because I played this motherfucker for such a long goddamn time. But anyway, man, this is part of the whole request that I sent in to people to send in anything I said new that from 2018. Apparently nobody has sent some shit in, and people are saying, oh yeah, there aren't any new fucking games out. So he had to send in some shit. He said it was released last year, towards the end of 2017. So I was like, I don't give a fuck at this point. Send some shit in. I have no fucking hipfire commentary videos, and that's the funny thing. You know, usually during the summer months, summer's a little slow. You know, people on vacation, nobody's really playing games or whatnot. There's really no content out to play in the summertime other than, you know, maybe a decent summertime game comes out in this motherfucker. I think last year I was playing, what was the fucking Mass Effect failure, Andromeda. Oh, that fucking game, man. So this year, there's nothing. So it's like fucking Destiny's updates or whatever the hell. So usually I film my summertime with hipfire commentaries, right? Because that's a good time. Get people to show me whatever else they're playing, play some other games and shit like that, get that shit posted. And obviously I could post up Jurassic World Evolution or whatever the fuck, but I don't think people want to see goddamn dinosaur parks every goddamn day, so I asked for content. This year nobody has any goddamn content. So essentially I'm just doing nothing over the goddamn summer, and that's the best way I can describe it. That's the only fucking thing I could do. So in any event, he sent in Final Fantasy 15. This is part of the whole DLC and shit like that. I could tell this is the Ignis DLC. Now I didn't play the DLCs. I thought about getting them, and here's my thing. I enjoyed Final Fantasy 15. Don't get me wrong, but it does feel like an incomplete game. It does feel like there were so many parts of the game that could have been told better or expanded upon. And one of the things that they had was these DLC packs that show some character backstories. At certain points in the story, a couple characters kind of disappear on you, right? You have Gladio disappears in the middle of the whole main story. He's like, I'll be right back. I got some shit I gotta handle. We didn't know where the fuck he went. The DLC shows us where the fuck he went. Then at one point, the annoying motherfucker, the driver, goddamn, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but at one point they all get separated, and then they find him being held prisoner or whatever the hell. So that was his portion of where he was sent to whatever the fuck. So I don't remember what the story was with Ignis. He was with you the whole time, so I don't really pay attention to this DLC where he went and whatnot. But apparently this seems like this is the time when he was blind or some shit. I don't know. But essentially these DLCs give you the opportunity to play as the other characters, because in the game, in almost every Final Fantasy game, you always play as multiple characters. You have the option to choose different characters. Here in this one, no, you were Noctis the entire fucking time. You could not choose the other 3 players. I mean, you could control some of their actions, you could command them to do certain things, but you were Noctis from the start. There was no help. There was no, oh, I want to switch off to this motherfucker or that motherfucker. No, it was these guys the entire it was Noctis the entire time. And then you never played these guys. So the whole point of the DLC was to have the ability to play as these guys. I don't like that, and I'm sorry, but that's just some bullshit. I love the Final Fantasy series, and I really think this was a pretty, what the hell? If you plan to sacrifice, okay. So I guess you're gonna choose. I have no fucking idea what's going on because I didn't pay attention to this goddamn DLC. So apparently, I guess he's trying to fight Arden to save Noctis or some shit, or what the fuck, I don't know. Does he have his vision back? Because in the game he gets blinded, spoiler alert. You find that shit out towards the end of the game, but I'm pretty sure that after a fucking whole goddamn year of the game, I'm pretty sure anybody can find out if there's a goddamn spoiler in the game or not. So I guess you have the option to choose what you want your fate to be at the end of this game. Okay, it's pretty decent, but damn, why wasn't this in the fucking game? That's the frustrating part. This is all kind of cool shit that you're seeing. But in the game itself, you know, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I think it was a step in the right direction for Final Fantasy, considering they haven't fucking done shit. Oh man, Final Fantasy 13. I'm not going to get into that shit, but we all know what the fuck happened. It wasn't very good. Square Enix realized it wasn't very good. So like, oh, wait. We're going to try and fix it in these next 2 sequels, and that shit didn't help. So they kind of delayed this game, which was in development, fuck, God knows how many goddamn years. And eventually they released this shit. But I don't like the idea of this episode of content that you had to pay for. Now, if they would have said, this is free DLC, it's going to come out in the future, we want you to beat the game, and then it's going to be completely free, it's still part of the game, but we wanted to show you a complete story first, and then you could play this additional content, that's one thing. But this shit, those two stories, I'm not sure about Ignis' story, but the other ones, they were just like, where did these motherfuckers go during the story? Oh, here, we're going to show you where they went. Yeah, buy the DLC and we'll show you where the fuck they went. I don't like that. I just give us a complete story. You know, you look at games that successfully do a full story, and whether or not they do DLC afterwards is up to them. God of War, perfect example. If it was an awesome game, there's still a lot more to explore in God of War if they wanted to, and sell it as DLC or as a sequel. You had Horizon Zero Dawn. They had that winter DLC. Again, perfectly fine story. The story was excellent from start to finish. And then they have an expansion after the fact of what happens in the future. These are good concepts of DLC with single player games. Best way I can describe it. This shit, I'm not feeling this, man. So, I mean, I see in the background that Ignis is having the fucking fight of his life with Arden. This happens to be the main bad guy in the game. Again, spoiler alert. But essentially, this was the bad guy in the game that was causing all kinds of shit or whatever the fuck it is. You gotta sacrifice again? Didn't you just fucking sacrifice? So you didn't... What happens? So let me see if I got this right. I got a cough, hold on. So it assumes that you're fighting Arden. You didn't beat him in the first... I don't know if this is a cinematic or is purposely doing this. But you fought him. I guess maybe you didn't kill him, so they give you the option to keep going, but you have to give something up because you didn't beat his ass. So now that he beat your ass again, now you have to go and fight him one last time. So I can't tell if that's sort of like... that was supposed to happen, or you just weren't very good and you got your ass kicked. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know how this shit works. But in the game, Ignis was sort of like your smart motherfucker. He for some reason he was your chef. He was your history guide. He was your conscience. The other ones fell into the stereotypes of things that you see in I guess RPG games. You have the big muscle guy who's your badass motherfucker. You have the dopey asshole who of course has to be your comedy relief. Ignis was the strategy guy. He was your smart motherfucker, the brains behind the operation, and the more conscience to the main character. So when his DLC didn't get announced, I didn't fucking pay attention. I knew the first two were coming out. I don't know what the fuck was happening. I knew he was gonna get one, but I didn't pay attention at that point because I enjoyed just the game itself. I think that this could have been put in the game. Oh, I see the timer on the side. So essentially, you have to beat him within the timer. So, maybe because he didn't beat him within certain portions of the timer, he had to accept his fate with the ring and say, okay, now I'm going to sacrifice myself, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. But I see, this is a long-ass boss fight. This is a seriously... And, you know, the funny thing is, a lot of the boss fights that occur in Final Fantasy, they're just tests of endurance. Essentially, the boss has an incredible amount of hit power, and you're just kind of wearing yourself down. But here... it sort of seems varied. I can't really tell, but it just looks like another one of those boss fights where he does have a bit of health and it just keeps going and going and going and going, but it does have some extra mechanics involved in this motherfucker. I know there was that one, what was that, giant-ass turtle? Oh, God, man. There's always a super boss in every Final Fantasy game. When you play, you'll understand what I mean. The motherfucker that has forever hit power. And you just have to keep going at him to kick his ass, and man, does it take a while to beat him. It's just one of those strengths of endurance kind of things where you're just constantly playing. This seems like one of those, but it also seems like there's some extra mechanics. Not like the tortoise fight where it's just, you know, just keep punching at the motherfucker and eventually you get to beat his ass. Here, he got all kinds of fucking magical shit. Did you use your... Yeah, you had to use your super. I didn't pay attention to it. I think that was what you used before. And I see that you have the ability to change all the elements. Oh, yeah, he finally won. Yay! Complete the mission. So, is that the whole DLC? You beat the DLC? You saved Noctis or some shit? I don't know. I I gotta go like Wikipedia this motherfucker and find out what the end of this shit is, man. So anyway, like I mentioned, guys, I don't have any footage for future Hipfire commentary. So if you're out there and you have some games for 2018 that you recorded or whatever the hell it is, feel free to go over to the Prestige Gamers website and send that shit in. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video.